right, so hey, this is Mike calling in a Benev. We just watched the last video. He just saw it, and I told you to do a video with a Benev. The lighting isn't quite as bright for some reason. Let me turn this. I don't know if that'll help. So here's the deal. Benev's here, and I was saying, Benev, you kept telling me, I got it, I understand. I'm like, no, because he's like, well, how do you know? It's like, because you're doing this, and I'm trying to get you to understand this. It's complete different understanding. So remember when we were having that intense conversation, I was like, Benev, talk to me. I don't think you understand this. No, I got it, Mike. I understand. I do. What more do you want from me? And he actually got kind of frustrated and pissed off. I go, just try something. Just explain to me what you understand. Because how can I understand what you understand if you don't tell me? Because he was saying, I got it. I understand it. I'm going, what do you got? What do you understand? If you don't explain and describe what you understand, I'm like, I have no idea. Like, how do I know? I would just be going, well, he says he does. I hope he does. Go ahead.
That was the biggest, or one of the biggest, rather, moments in the entire course. That changed everything.
Yeah.
It was, to put it bluntly, I saw how women look at men in a relationship finally.
Mm-hmm.
I saw how women look at communication, about how they look at relationships. I was so convinced that what I was talking about was so right, and there was no other way.
Possibility. No other possibility. That's a real word.
No other possibility. And he was trying to make me understand something. I kept telling him, I hear you. I understand. What more do you want? And
he literally said, what more do you want from me? Dude, I said like 3 times. I understand. Like, what do you want from me? I want you to describe to me, explain to me in depth, in detail, literally details. What do you understand? What do you think I'm saying? And then when you explained what you said, I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it was, the cool thing was that he knows when you don't understand. That's one of the things that really hit me. And so anyway, getting back on track, it was such a cool experience because I thought I had it. There's no other way. I've been speaking English my entire life. There's no way that I misunderstand it.
Right.
And he's telling me that I don't, and I'm just like, you know what, dude? What? I was pissed. He was pissed.
And then I got pissed. I'm like, dude, you don't understand this. I'm telling you. No, Mike, I do. Okay, well then fine. Then explain to me what you understand. Do you understand that?
Yep. And when I did explain to him what I thought I understood, he was like, that's not it, bro. Mm-hmm. Which made me go, well, what the fuck is it? You know what I mean?
Now, do you see how men and women have the same exact experience on a daily basis?
It's so funny. I see it. It's right there, but you're not going to see it until you get to the point where I've just gotten to. Right. You're not going to see it.
Because I explained this to Benev for 2 months now. I would help him open up, and then he'd close back up. Help him open up, he'd close back down. And it is a conditioning process. Do you understand that now?
Yes, I do.
So the more you do it with me, the better you get at it, to where eventually you can do it on your own, at will and at choice. You don't have to stay here or be in your right brain. You can choose, and that's the point, to be able to choose to be in left or right, depending on what you're doing, or just depending on your mood. Right? So what were you going to say right before we started this video? Because I hold that thought.
It was.
Or did you already say it?
I think I just said it. Where you guys, you can't see it. You can try it. You can try to see it all you want.
Well, no, but you were saying it to me though. Is that? Remember when we finished the last video, and I go, that's what I want to talk about in the next video, and you said, well, yeah, you know, Mike, blah 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 blah. I go, hold that thought, and I started the recording.
Honestly, I don't quite remember.
Okay. Let's do this. So, what did you learn that day?
There's a whole plethora of options, possibilities, a million different ways to go about your life, not just relationships, if you can just open up.
Give them an example. You just said it, open up. Wait, what did you say? Repeat it.
Open up.
Versus what?
Close back down.
So the male brain is very good at being very narrow and targeting on one specific thing. That's the mastery of the male brain. That's what built the world. That's what built electronics. That's what did a lot of things. It has a good purpose, but for a relationship and also to advance in your career, you need to learn You need to learn how to open up to the big picture, because now you can see all the details instead of just one. So when we were having the conversation, I'm like, I don't think you understand. You're like, Mike, I understand. You're getting pissed off, right?
Hell yeah.
Righteously believing that you were right, huh?
Yep.
Thinking, What does he want from me? What Abenev did was a very typical male thing. He narrowed down on one thing, what he thought I was saying, and he locked on, and he's like, Mike, I'm looking at it right now. And I'm like, yeah, over to the right about 2 inches, dude. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. You don't believe that you're wrong. You just don't want to see it. Like, dude, I can see it, I can hear it, I know what you're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's not that you're even trying to be, what's the word, like, trying to mismatch me or argue with me. You're just like, Mike, I'm looking at it right now. And you really believe that's what it was, huh?
Yes.
Now, that's the problem with being narrow in conversations, because if you open up even a little bit, it might be just 1 or 2 inches to the right. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like looking at a map in a very narrow view, and you're looking at this little dot, and you're like, yeah, I'm looking at the city. No, the city's name is blah, blah, blah. Like, no, dude. Over to the, open up your viewfinder a little bit. And now it's like, oh, fuck, it's right. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. You're right, I was wrong, fuck. And it's not that you were being stubborn. It's just that that's what you saw. The challenge is, a lot of women are like, oh, men are so stubborn. And, you know, we are. We are and we're not. This isn't necessarily stubborn traits. That's a separate issue. It could be he's just locked on, looking at this thing, thinking that's it. Because you're hearing me say something and you thought it was this, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
But it was really way over here. It was actually quite. Was it completely different than what you thought it was?
It was about 1,000 miles away.
It was like way over there. So then I had Abenev open up, way open, and then he goes, "Oh fuck!" So now, do you see the advantages in life, in business, in sports, in everything? In sports, this is what's in the business. This is what's called being in the zone. If you're here, you're not in the zone. You can't see shit.
I was just about to say that, actually. Now, whenever I'm like faced with a situation where I got to figure out a problem, an obstacle, anything, it just comes back to my brain that all I got to do is step outside the box a little bit. Even if it's a tiny bit, it's going to open me up to see more options. And I was just thinking about that this morning, believe it or not. And guys, like, that one understanding
Changed your whole life, huh?
It changed my whole life. And if you want to go about your life, it'll take you like 20-something years to learn that just one thing.
Most of you will never get it. Most men, even in their 50s, they're just narrow. What are you talking about? And they'll argue, and I don't even argue with them. I was like, okay, whatever, man.
I've had girls try to tell me so many times that I have to literally fucking use a screwdriver to open you up, to see what you're feeling, to see what you're trying to say to me. And I'm just like, I'm telling you how I feel. What are you talking about?
And now this video is bouncing off the last video. Now that's exactly what Julie was saying. Like he was cold. The thing was, men aren't being cold when they give you a one word answer or a phrase, a quick phrase. That's the way we express ourselves. And now that she understands, she goes, oh, I thought he just didn't care. I'm like, no, he told you in depth. See, in the male language, you see how when we say something with one word or phrase or sentence, I just explained. I see the way a man, as I said in my last videos, the way a man expresses himself is volcanic push energy, like a boom. The louder the volume, the louder the boom, the more he's expressing himself. So if a man loves you a little bit, he'll say, I love you. If he loves you more, he says, I love you. More, I love you. More, I love you. More, I love you. That's how you know a man loves you. Or that's how you know he's angry. I'm angry. If a man says, yeah, I'm pissed, he's not really pissed. You got that, huh?
I got that.
Every man watching this gets that. But a woman's like, well, how do you know? Because his volume, his intensity, the push energy was very little. He's like, oh, I'm angry. But if a man goes, I'm fucking angry, that's how you know he's really pissed off. Now, I've had girls go, what? You don't have to scream it at me. Just explain it to me. Oh, man, remember my ex-girlfriend did that to me in my 20s. I was like, I smashed something on the table. I'm fucking pissed. And she goes, when you calm down, I'll come back later and talk to you. Oh, that just pissed me off. So the thing is, guys, the way a woman understands your emotions and what you're saying and your expressions is not by volume and intensity, volcanic push energy. The way a woman understands you is literally by descriptive languaging, describing. Well, I have this warm feeling inside. It's kind of like this, but it kind of burns and it kind of is upsetting, and it's like a fiery flame. Literally, I know it sounds weird to a guy, but to a woman, I remember the first time I did this to a woman, and I'm thinking she's gonna think I'm a nutcase, and she goes, "Oh my God, I totally understand. Why don't more men talk like this?" And I was like, "What?" When I taught this to you, didn't you think it was a little weird? Like, I'm not doing that.
In the beginning, I thought it was a little bit. It's like, yeah, guys don't talk like this. No.
But when you talk to a woman that way, like, and you're like, you understand this? Oh, totally. I wish more men would talk this way. You're like, really? That's when the button clicks in your head. That's when you go, fuck, they do understand this stuff.
The first time I used descriptive languaging with somebody, she just stopped what she was doing, looked right at me, and just kept looking. And I was just like,
She locked on, huh? She looked right. She like locked on,
Big
and she
time.
and she completely shut up, huh?
Yeah.
But when you talk in the male language, saying the same thing, they're just like, oh. The last thing they want to do is listen to you. So go ahead.
It wasn't even like a subtle like, oh yeah, what were you saying? It was just like, stop, turn. What were you saying?
She stopped what she was doing and she looked right at you.
Yeah.
And focused on you.
It wasn't even like subtle. It was just like a super jerky, like. Just,
because men don't do this. It's a shock. Like, wait, what? Huh?
She even said that. She said, like, I didn't expect you to talk like that. And I was like, really? That's interesting.
What do you mean?
That was that's one of the things that'll really make you go, well, this stuff is real.
All right, so I don't know. Let's wrap it up with this. Explain to them the difference between this and how that day when you had this aha moment. What's the difference between this and that, or how is that going to change your life?
If you're closed down, you can go about your life whichever way you want. You're not going to get very far. In relationships, business, sports, anything.
Right.
Anything. If you open up, man, I'm telling you, even if it's just a little bit, you're going to start to see so many more possibilities.
More options.
Definitely.
So now do you see how in your life you would get stuck on this one thing and argue to death with your mom, with the girl at school, with the fucking coworker, with me, and then it turned out you were wrong because you just didn't open. I don't even want to say wrong. It's not even wrong. You just didn't open up enough to see the other possibilities.
Yes.
Do you see now when you open up how you have more possibilities? Now you have more choice in life.
It's not even. I see that for sure.
Right.
It's not even like. It's not even just a relationship thing. You can use it
for business.
With everything.
For money, for marketing, for all right. I always get a lot of free stuff.
Yeah.
I always get a lot of free meal. Always, everywhere we go, he's like, how do you do that? I was like, dude, I told, first time I met you, I said, dude, you watch. We're going to start going out. I get a lot of free stuff everywhere we go, right? We'll take a break. Oh, let's get a bite to eat. Oh, it's on us. And you're like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I'm open, not doing this stuff, which people don't like. And a lot of guys have no idea. Guys think they're being cool. Yeah, look at me, I'm focused, man. Well, people, even a guy at a restaurant, like, okay, dude, whatever, brother. And people lean away from you. Even notice that? How people lean away from. Notice how I'll lean away from someone who's like doing that linear thing to me. So let's not lose the point. For the point I'm trying to say is, do you see the advantage now when you can see more options and possibilities versus being stuck on that male one small tiny thing?
That's probably the biggest learning I've got out of the entire.
I want to describe it in a way that they can understand it. I'm trying to find a way.
All right,
because I used to hear this all the time from women. Don't you remember women saying to you like, "Oh, you're so stuck. You're so stubborn. You're so locked onto that one thing." I'm trying to explain something else. What are you talking about? This is what you're talking about.
All the time, my entire life, and I think I just said it a little bit earlier in the video. Mm-hmm. They told me it was like we have to literally sit down and talk to you for an hour just to get an inkling out of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Guys, so this was my experience. If you can just be open enough to see from a different view, or just a tiny
different
bit,
perspective,
you're gonna go from here to here, and then to there, and there, and there. All of a sudden,
it starts to open you up.
That one situation where you thought couldn't be seen or dealt with any other way is gonna have 10,000 answers for you, dude.
That's what I was trying to get to. Do you remember how you started when you realized what I was saying? You started. He got really quiet when he popped open. He got really quiet, literally for 5 minutes or more, and I just kind of sat there because his brain was reprocessing all his memories from childhood. I mean, all his memories were just flying up, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I finally said, "You're having a bunch of childhood memories pop up, aren't you?" And you're like, "Dude, all these times when I argued with my mom, I was doing this, and she was trying to get me to do this, and I couldn't. And the harder I tried, the further I got away from what she was saying, because she was trying to get you to open up, and you were locking down."
Yeah, that is so much on the money.
Mm-hmm. Do you see all the anger, all the frustration, all the stuck states. This is a stuck state, by the way, and I could pop you out of it. Do you see how this got you stuck in life?
Yeah.
And you're like, why can't I get a date? And why are people always mad at me? What the fuck? Remember when I first met you? I honest to God, after I got to know him, I used to call him the angry
Indian.
Angry Indian. Because he was fucking pissed if he couldn't get his way. Now do you see, like, if you're doing this thing, it's like banging your head against the wall. You want to get on the other side, but you don't even open up to see the other options. Like, oh, there's a door right there. Turn the door fucking handle. Derp, derp. Or, oh, it's the wall's only 4 feet. I could walk around. There's a ladder. I could go over. There's a tunnel that goes underneath. Oh, there's a key. If the door's locked, well, there's the key right there. You start seeing other options and possibilities. And it makes life easier.
The biggest learning I've got out of this course. All right, how do I say this? You can go to the top business people. You can go to any professional at the very zenith of their field, and they might be able to break it down a little bit for you.
No. They would say, you need to open up. You need to see the possibilities. But you've heard people say that to you your whole life. I bet your mom screamed that. I bet your sister, I bet girls at school, like, Ben, if there's more possibilities. Now, here's the funny thing. The male brain doesn't even like to hear the word possibilities, huh?
Yeah. We're just like, this is our way. That's what we're getting.
But the problem is, life is never a straight line. And that's the thing for the male brain. He's laughing. Because you see it now, huh?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, something just popped up. It's like if you're driving in a car, right? And you have another person, let's say a girl, or somebody who can see the possibilities. You're going straight, and you're supposed to get to location A. She was supposed to get to location A as well. She said, well, you actually got to take a right and go straight. If you keep going that way, you're going to fall off a cliff. You're just like, I don't care, I'm going anyway.
Right. We're like,
Even
no,
if it
it's
is
that
okay.
way, dude. And you're going to argue it's because you look through your viewfinder and that's all you see.
Yeah, there's like right there, there's a cliff, there's a drop off, and there's a lot of water. You're just like, nope, I'm going anyway.
Right. And because you're just so stuck, like, but it's that way, I'm going to go this way. And the male brain never even opens up until they hit the brick wall or until they fall off the cliff. They're like, oh, okay, we got to reanalyze this shit. You know what I mean, dude?
That's exactly what it is.
And that's what it takes for most men to go, fuck, this isn't working, damn. Okay, you're right. And that's what it takes for a man to finally look at his wife and go, oh, okay, yeah, you are right. We should have went around. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Now, here's a funny metaphor, true metaphor. When I first went to Alaska, the first thing they said to us was, all right, if you're out anywhere, even downtown, because the moose will come downtown. If there's a moose running at you from 100, 200 yards or 50 yards or whatever, all you have to do is step off to the side about 10 or 15 feet. It'll go right by you. It's not coming after you, because moose are huge. Have you ever seen one in real life?
No.
They're massive. It couldn't fit. A full-grown moose with the horns couldn't fit in my apartment.
Thanks.
All right, here's the deal. The way a moose does things is it goes, well, I need water, or I want to go over there. And it locks on, and it starts running. Dunk, 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 and it just locks on, and it will not change course until, boom, it slams into a car or slams into a rock or a tree, and then it kind of shakes it off, and it looks around and goes, oh, okay, well, got to go around this. And it goes around it, and then it starts dunk, 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 bonk. You get it? Does that sound like the average man? A lot of men.
More so than you would think.
Yeah, men are very much like that. And here's here's the thing, guys. The guys that get ahead in life, the CEOs, the experts, the professional athletes, you ever, especially football, you gotta have I was a running back. I had great peripheral vision, just always aware of what's going on around me. That when you're in the zone, you're aware of everything around you, 360 degrees. But when you're like stumbling and bumbling, that's when you're locked on. Now, do you see that sometimes?
Absolutely.
How you, Mike, I couldn't get it. I'm like, well, geez, Van, where are you? I'm here. I'm like, I wonder why. So the point being is, if you want to get ahead in life as a male, you have to learn how to do this. Otherwise, you know what? Because this is the rule brain. You're following rules. Guess what? It's someone else's rules. You're not the one that's leading. You're not the one making the rules. You're not the one telling people what to do. If you want to be a follower, don't take this course. If you want to be a leader and learn how to move up the ladder, learn how to open up and be internal and connect to your radar system, and you'll get ahead in life. Go ahead.
Best decision you will ever make, period, bar none, end of sentence. The best decision. Even if you take this course and you get up to the very zenith of your field, even then you're going to look back and say, you know what, that was the best decision I ever made. I'm here because I took this guy's course. I'm making $1 million, billion, however many cajillion dollars because I took this guy's course, period.
So, God, there's something else I'm going to say about opening up, but I think you guys get the point. Oh, yeah, it was about girls. Here's the thing. The female mating system is hardwired to get triggered by a male who's open. And I mean open to his right brain, who's open. It's not just visual. A lot of guys do this peripheral, like right here, or out here, or out to the walls. That's not what I'm talking about. This is much more than that. That is just one layer of it. There's 3 layers, technically 4, and then there's the internal awareness connecting with your internal radar. That's when her mating system gets triggered. Like, whoa. They can see it in your body language. Because you move more relaxed. Your voice is more relaxed. You're resonating your voice from your chest without even thinking about it. I've had guys try to fake resonating their voice. Can you see how it's forced?
Yeah.
It's not forced. It's the opposite of forcing things or trying. You're not trying. Do you see how? Because the Benham in the beginning, he would try to do it. I'm like, dude, stop trying to do it. That's what's keeping. That's what's locking you down. That was a weird concept at first, huh?
For guys, it's such a weird concept that when you tell them to let go, you're just like,
Talk
"Ow."
about from you. Don't talk about them. Talk about you. So when I first told you that concept about, no, stop trying to do it. That's why because you're doing this, and you need to let go. When I first said that concept, you were like, what are you talking about?
I asked you, but how do I let go? You know what I mean? You said, well, you just do it. Well, how do I just do it? Can you tell me how I just do it?
And I walked you through some very powerful techniques.
Mm-hmm.
And it still took a while for you to go, oh, I let it go. I just allow my awareness to open up.
It's the understanding of you're not doing anything that'll take you to the next level.
It's even letting go of wanting to understand it. Because that's what he kept doing. He kept popping into his linear brain. I got to analyze this. Okay, so what am I doing? Am I there? Nope, you just popped out of it because you're trying to think about it. You got to stop thinking about it.
That was a weird concept, but one of the best learnings I've had in my life, period.
Would you say it opened you up to a larger part of your brain? Would you say it's almost like the pieces fall together now even when you're talking to someone?
It's like everything just becomes natural.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is forced. You're just on this smooth road with no herky-jerkiness. There's no trying. There's no effort.
Right. And the funny thing is, he goes, well, how did you meet that girl? I didn't do anything. I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, it's just, I'm not doing anything. I learned that when I try to memorize lines and openers, it doesn't work at all. It's just like, because it puts you in your analytical brain, which turns her off. See that now?
Yeah.
Because, as I said in my last video, her mating system is connected to the non-analytical brain, the emotional right processor, and the male brain's the analytical, logical brain. When you're logically trying to do openers and lines, it changes your tonality, and you're kind of narrow. And she's looking at, dude. Do you see guys like they look like hey, what's going on, Venom? What's going on? Do you see that?
So much more.
Even guys that think they're being cool. Even the guys like the top of the group. Hey, what's up, man? It looks weird. It's like, what are you, like a cartoon character today? What is this? And women see that like, well, this dude's weird.
Yeah.
But you gotta overlook it.
It's funny. Now it's not even that you're trying, it's not even that I'm trying to look for it. You just kind of see it in the people walking by. And you can see that the women see it.
Yeah. When you get to that point, that's when you're like, oh my God. So when you're open and we go out in public, do you look at dudes like, that guy looks like an idiot, but he thinks he's being cool?
Yes.
And I'm not trying to be mean by any means, because I used to be like that. And as a male, you just don't know, because that's the way we're wired. And women have told me, we just get used to it and think, well, that's just the way men are, and we don't have any other choice, because that's how almost all men are like. So we have to choose the best of those. Or you could open up and have them come after you. Do you see how this makes women feel comfortable?
It's such a, how do I say, the first time you're there, man, you're going to be like, what was I tripping about?
Right.
Why was I trying so hard, and why was I blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make everything just enjoyable.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah, that was a neat experience. The first, mainly, was it the second or third time when you really opened up, you're like, fuck, why was I worried? Because you worry for nothing, huh? And you see how, like, when you pop open and you look back at the worry, you're like, what a waste of energy.
Yes.
Do you see how you get in your own way and you stumble and bumble and trip over yourself when you're overanalyzing and thinking and doing all this shit? Do you see people do it in public now? you feel sorry for him?
I'll tell you what. Not only do I see it, I'm sure we've all heard the term, like, you're your own worst enemy, or you're the only person getting in your way.
Yes.
You guys have no idea how true that is. It's the biggest truth in your life, basically. And you'll learn when you take its course to just relax and get out of your own way.
It makes life a lot more enjoyable.
A lot more
on
enjoyable.
a daily basis. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. This video went way over what I want, but I think we got some important things in there. It is February. We are setting up workshops and seminar trainings right now. They are not up on my website yet. I've got a ton of projects. Give us a call. Get your butt in here. Take the next course that's coming up this February, 26th February, March, April, anything. Anything else?
Give Mike a call.
All right, see you guys. Peace.
Thank you.